Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you the update what's going on at the garage. So, 1969 Chevy Camaro Z28. We have the motor all apart and we found out what was causing the knock. Now remember, the only part of this motor we didn't touch is the rotating assembly, the bottom end of the motor. In other words, the crankshaft, pistons and connecting rods, main caps. Everything else, we did the whole top end of this motor, and it is perfectly fine. Everything on the top side is good. Everything on the bottom side. The problem came in cylinder number 6. The bearings just started to spin. We had some reason the film of oil that is supposed to be between the bearing and the crankshaft journal for this cylinder was not there. Ended up causing the bearing to wear out, heat up, and then start to get turned by friction from the rotation of the crankshaft. What the bearing should look like is basically what this bearing looks like. A little bit of a Babbitt color right here, like a flat looking color. Back in the day, they were using Babbitt as bearings. So I'm old and I'm still calling it Babbitt. This is a Babbitt material, a very soft material. This is the copper, and then you have the bearing shells. This is the bearing shell. The bearing is pressed in between the connecting rod and the connecting rod cap. Now, if we take this connecting rod off, this cap off, you will see right there. See that little notch right there? Let's see if we can get closer. Will it focus? See that little notch right there? That little notch is what helps hold the bearing in place. Now, when you first take these bearings and stick them in the cap and stick them in the connecting rods, they stick up just a teeny tiny bit over the edge. And then when you take the cap, put it down with the crankshaft in the middle, and you tighten this down, it actually squeezes the bearing into the connecting rod. That friction right there is what holds this together. And if we look at cylinder 6, connecting rod number 6, you will see the little notch where those notches go into, and you'll see how it holds the bearings in place. This was bad because once that hit, it scrubbed material off of the bearing and throughout the motor. Once that happens, it scores everything. And you can see here how, see those deep grooves? That is from material that went through the motor. Then what happens is this one went bad. So now instead of the oil having resistance, there is no resistance from this bearing. So now the oil just squirts out and the rest of the motor is not getting any oil. None. It is really very small amounts, creating a chain effect of that goes bad, that goes bad, that goes bad, and it goes all the way down throughout the motor. You can even see it in the main journals. These are your caps for your main journal, and you'll see that big score right there, that big groove in that bearing. That big groove is a piece of material that went through here and scored everything, and you can see all the bearing material worn off. You can also see on the crankshaft, this is one of your connecting rod journals. This is a main journal, this is a main journal. And you can see how bad that it has scored all these journals. So more than likely, this is going to end up being a brand new rotating assembly. Another thing we're going to have to do is we're going to also have to check the bore size of the cylinders. It's not marked on the pistons, so we're hoping the bore is a standard bore. We're not sure yet. We got to measure it and find out if it's a standard bore or not. If it's over 60 thousandths over bore, over the standard bore, then this block is done. And it would really be a shame If it is, because this is a nice 4-bolt main block. We will also be replacing the lifters for the valve, for the camshaft, because oil is run through a hydraulic lifter. So inside here is oil, and that oil now has contaminants in it. Now the only way we can get that out is we take the little hairpin clip out, take the whole lifter apart, clean it all up, and then put it all back together. It's not worth it. It's a lot less expensive to just buy new lifters and put them in. The camshaft seems to be okay. The break-in of the camshaft went beautiful. It didn't, no scores on it, everything got hardened nicely. So we did a really nice break-in of this camshaft. So as long as we don't have any deep scores in it, we should be able to use the camshaft over without a problem. We can also look at the camshaft bearings, and you can see the bearings are in good condition. We will replace them, because we will replace them. But you can see those are the camshaft bearings. Way down there where that little hole, the silver where the little hole is, that's a camshaft bearing. And they're in really good condition. There's no excessive wear on them. It looks really good. So we should be okay with that. I also wanted to show you the oil pump, and you can see all the bearing material on there. That's a lot of bearing material. And if you look down into it, there's more in there. So yeah, this quite sucks. It wasn't really a good day when he called me and told me that something's making noise in his motor. I told him just shut it off and we'll have a tow truck come out and pick it up. And we come to find that cylinder number 6 spun a bearing. Again, it's the only thing we didn't touch is the bottom end. So it is what it is. We will put it back together. We will get this car running as quickly as possible. So there you go, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.